Welcome to Trading Lounge and the indices, and starting with the SP500 on the weekly chart here. So coming back from this particular low here, we're looking at a larger impulse wave to the upside here, and it can only really be counted as an impulse wave because obviously it's taken out the top over here, and this as wave 1 here and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here. As I explained a little while ago, this is pulled back from the banks, and we can see that with JP Morgan here because it's taken this wave 2 here, it's taken the low out from that point there. So the target up there is around that 200 mark up here for wave 3. So this wave 3 is a good wave 3 too. It's nice and strong and long and so on. So it's sort of reflecting what we need to see in that space. There are two ways to count this move up here. So I can push this further up here, or I could bring this right down here, and I'm kind of inclined to look at both of those equally, because I know at 5,000 here 5 is the second strongest number in the market. So for it to consolidate here for a while just would seem obvious to me. So yeah, so we're looking at this in two different ways to the upside here, but I do have to take my lead from the stocks, from the big tech stocks. That's where I need to take my lead from. Okay, that's what's going to guide me through this. Now, if we have a look at the market where it's got wave 3 here, then wave 4 will gravitate around this area here. So I think I might have it on this one here. Yeah, so we still have 1 and 2 here on the daily, and then 1 and 2 here, and then from 2 we go to wave 3 here. So in this instance here, we look at this as wave 1 here and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and all the way up here for 5, 3, and 4. And then in this last leg here, we look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is where the difference comes in here, because this move here, when I'm looking at stocks, we're looking at this little move here as wave 1 and 2, and 1 and 2. Now on the S&P, we could look at this as being part of a correction here, as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave here. But when you look at the cash market, or if you look at the SPY, if I can just show my messy chart here, this is the situation here as an A and a B and a C wave over here. But here we can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth, and fifth here. But on the futures market, we didn't take that top out here, so it's left us with 3 waves up here. So that's the difference. So looking at different markets, we're getting different ideas. So we need to be a little bit cautious. Yes, my main thing is that big numbers are sticky numbers, and yes, they can tend to, when markets arrive at them, they tend to, do all this. They sort of expand here for a while in their own sort of way, and then they settle back into this here, and when they're ready, they'll go again, So that's why I'm a little bit concerned about this here. But to navigate through this in terms of putting our trading hat on and laying the analyst hat down, is that we just simply have to buy new highs. So on the 1000, going from daily to 1000 ticks here, this is the bullish pattern here. Now in this case here, I've got it as wave 1 with an A and a B and a C wave over here, and that's good because this little top here didn't take that top there, and it's left me with 5 waves up here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. But as I mentioned on the SPY here, we actually made a new little high here. So in this case, I can get 5 waves up and then look at it as an ABC pattern here. So I'm in two minds about that situation. And here I can look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky, but like I said, all we need to do is buy new highs. And now we need to talk about this bit here. So we're looking at this as possible wave 1 here and wave 2 here. So just in a bit of a nutshell here, we've also got jobless claims in the next session, so that's that can rock the boat a little bit. So there's a couple of different ways to look at this. First of all, we'll have a look at this in a moment on another chart, on a smaller degree chart here, but I just wanted to point out here is that I could put wave A here and then look at this here as 1, 2 here, and then 3, 4, 5, and finish this off, and then we go. And so Thursday being the bearish day and Friday being the bullish day, so our bullish weekly cycle. can read that on the website. And secondly, the other way that this could play out here is that we have wave B over here, so we actually get a little ABC here. That's a little 535 structure, then an ABC here. So as long as that low stays in place here, we could get 5 waves up here and then come down for that. So it's not a biggie either way, and this counts down here quite nicely as 1 and 2, and all the way for 3 here with 5 waves in it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 and then 5 here. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. They both play out quite nicely. All I can say is we're not ready to trade long yet. This is sort of dragging out. If we go from 1,000 ticks into 10 ticks, which is quite small, I've sort of drafted it out here a little bit. So the 5 waves down are 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave here, the 4th and the 5th. So that makes the A wave here, an ABC for the A wave, the B wave here with a 3 wave move here, and then looking at wave C here. If that's not the case and we do come down from here, then quite simply what we'll just do is we'll put wave B over here, and we'll look at this over here as, copy this here as wave 1 here and wave 2 over here for this, and then we'll come down here for wave 3, 4, and 5. So it's not going to be ready until Thursday afternoon, this long trade, unfortunately, but we'll pick it up tomorrow, and we'll take it from that point. You know, that's all we can do is just continue to be patient. Obviously, if this top gets taken out, we can go long at that point, and the Nasdaq will be probably slightly stronger than this because of the tech stocks in it. This is also, you know, holding on to the banks and a few other things. But anyway, we're not quite finished with this just yet, and then we also got to be careful that we don't get pulled down here and locked into this as well. You know, so but the tech stocks are telling me that we need to go higher, so we'll run with that. Over to the Nasdaq here. This is a slightly different count here. Did I have that? Just bear with me for a second here. I was looking at that on our new Elliott program here. Oh, this is a triple Q here. Yeah, so, oh, that's just the end bit. We can have a look at that in a moment. That's okay. That's just that little bit here, looking at this in different ways. This move up here, look, it can be counted in different ways. I get it. So, but that's okay. My sort of thing is that double tops are never the end of the trend. Well, that wasn't mine. That was WD Gans. I took a couple of good things from him, and that was one of them. The other one, which is something I call the robo method, where we took all these trades and put them on a chart and worked out how we actually traded, and that's how we came up with the robo method. He used it on a weekly basis, and that's on our website as well. So yeah, so this still needs to push up higher. Obviously the 18 here, so 8 is the 3rd strongest number, 158. In that case, so while the S&P is at 5,000, this will be here, and yeah, so we need to trade long in line with the trend. We just looking at this current pullback here. So this move up here, this can be counted in different ways. That's why I was looking at this move here. Let me just bring that back up here. This move here. So in that last chart, we've got that as wave 1 sitting over here. I might need to just take that down and just bring that one down 1 degree there. So yeah, either way I look at it, we still need to continue to push higher, and let's just go into the intraday and have a look at this little area around the 18 here. So I think we're in, I'll just go from daily into 1,000 ticks here for this. I think we're in almost at 20,000. I think we're at, excuse me, right, okay, so so our theme this week has really been to wait for this to top out, and we'll have a top, and then we can look at being long above that, and then we can bring it down and so on. And currently, why we've been in this correction here is that if we made a new high above the 18 here, using the classic trading levels kind of method here, looking for that first high above this level here, then we put our long trade at that point and then bring it down and down, and that's what basically we've been doing. And but at the same time, we understood that we're in a correction. It can pull back to this point here. That's the 50-60%. Then that's in group 2 here, subgroup 2, 65, 72 and 80. And the logical look at this would be the A wave, the B wave and the C wave to come down. So we can expect Thursday to come down further. And Apple and Google are the sort of soft spots in the big tech stocks at the moment. So that's where that is. So if something goes wrong in the next session, we end up pushing up for whatever reasons, you still have to wait for that first high above the level to trade. Otherwise, we'll do the video tomorrow and we'll pick it up down here, and what we'll try to do is get a better position. But what we do need to see here is we do need to see the first impulse wave here so we can manage our initial exposure in our risk here, and we will look at being long wherever that may be at that point, and then we'll build into here, and we need to build in through here if that's going to be the case. We need the market to prove to us that it's strong. Okay, so that's where that is, the Nasdaq. And the other markets, okay, this is still the Nasdaq here on a smaller version here. So that particular pattern that we're looking at here is an A and a B, and the C wave down here is this one here with an A and a B and 1, an A and a B and a C for 2 here, down for 3, 4, and looking for 5 waves to move us down here a little bit further. So not a long move down here. So as always, we look at Thursday to shore up the market in the afternoon, and then we're looking for strength on Friday, and we'll trade into that strength Thursday afternoon, Friday morning, and Friday afternoon if it continues, and then build in on the Monday morning and afternoon. So that's that there. So we can move over to the Russell here, and yeah, as I mentioned before, this is all a little bit sort of messy here, but what I was sort of thinking here, I mean, we're looking to buy new highs, so I'm just bringing that down to here. So on 203, which is the top of group 1 of 200 here, that's what we're really looking at, but that's going to come down further. But I was looking at, if I can just do a detour here for a moment and look at let's where are we here? Okay, here's the Russell here. So this is just an hourly chart here. So it's this move here that's a little bit jagged, and I can see that this is in 3 waves here. I can see that that's impulsive here. I can see that these are impulsive waves. So it's a little bit, I mean, I can see that it's, you know, wants to sort of push up. It's just that the best way to count this, you know, I was counting them as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and building to the upside, but that kind of pattern doesn't always sort of play out. And I could look at this as an A wave here, then an A, B and C for the B wave here, and then up for the C wave here, and then that would leave us here with wave 1 and 2 to here, and 3, 4 and 5 to here as this structure here. We've been looking at that. But when we're looking at this particular structure here, if we look at the TNA will be the same as this one. So this is the ETF here. So yeah, so if we look at these guys here, so this is the 3000, the Russell 3000 and the 1000 here as well. And the reason I'm looking at these 4 is because you see how these have kind of climbed up nicely here. You know, they haven't given us that, they haven't given us this, you know, this sort of odd move here, you know. So these guys here are leading to the upside. I won't bore you to death at the moment, but you could check it out if it's important to you and start building a count here as 1 and 2. You know, yeah, so yeah, and we can see this here is really behaving like the SP 500 and so on at this point. So yeah, anyway, that's that. So we don't need to, just wanted to sort of share that bit, but we can expect this to move down a little bit. Your job would be to count 5 waves coming down through here, because this would be the A wave, nice and sharp, the B wave, and a C wave coming down here. Okay, so we move over to the to the European markets, and this is the DAX here. We've been looking at this as 1 and 2 here from this low here, and looking up here. It's moving up quite strongly, isn't it? You know, and there are some really good European stocks. It's not all just about the the American FANG stocks. So yeah, it's pretty clear as 1 and 2 here, and then as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then going up for wave 5 to this wave 3 here. You know, the trading levels here will be handy because the 500 here, and then this is all of group 2. So after 5 you get 8, and then we've got group 2 here, this 65 number, 17,650, and then so if it finds support in here, then it's going to climb higher. But I don't think it's going to find support here, so we can put that in here, and we can expect wave 4 to come back. So when we're looking at wave 4 here, I think there's actually one more little push up actually. So that's the 38.2. So this is the bad news, is that it could pull back to this area here. I do think there should be one more little move up here, because I've got 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 in here, so I can look at this as 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll just go into the 1,000 tick area here, and we'll just have a closer look at that little area there. So I think if you wanted to take money off the table, then you need to do it now. Okay, so I'll put that there as part profit. So what I was thinking here is, first of all, I want to bring this back over to here. We don't need that one. We need this 1 and 2 here, and this will be 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we could be in there. We could. There's a bit of a scruffy old finish there. Look, there could. I mean, I wouldn't get too excited about it, but there could be another little move up here before we see some sort of ABC pattern here and then move up. I don't think it needs to come all the way back down through to here because we're in a third wave, but it's possible. But either way, we're going to just continue to leave this stop out of the way here. We're going, as I mentioned before, we're going to accommodate this, and we'll try to build in another position over here when it does happen at this point. So the other number up here will be 1772. That's going to be important, and also the 1780 here, and also don't need that 1760, 50, 65 number 650. Close enough, it's near enough there. So that's all of group 2 here. So I doubt if it will find support in that area. That needs to rebalance to some point here. Yeah, so there could be one more little high here. I haven't had time to sort of sort all this out in here. But that's that at the moment for the DAX, and the FTSE's fallen out of bed and is looking quite bearish. I'll stay with this count of 1 and 2 at the moment, and 1 here, and I'll go an A and a B and a C wave here. I'll just see how this plays out with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for this, for 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5 for the third wave here. We'll need 5 waves in here, then we'll have wave 4, and then we'll have wave 5 here. The pocket, the 61.8% or the 62 and 65 is here. So I'm thinking this still needs to come down here further. So it'll be something like this here to finish off. So it'll come quite deep. Now it could become more bearish in here as well. So we'll just have to see. I just play it out in line with the other markets. It just depends if the S&P is going to stick to the, have a bigger correction at the 5,000 and the Nasdaq at the 18,000. But as always, we can expect in a bullish market, we can expect Thursdays to be the bearish day on that note. Then we come over to the Australian market, and yeah, look, this is actually quite bullish because we can look at this top as wave 1 or 3, and this here is a 3-wave correction. There's, there's no sort of doubt about that situation. And then we've got an impulse wave here, and we've got another corrective pattern here. Because this is corrective here, we need to take out that top. So it's kind of just buying time, really, this market, because it does need the other global markets to move with it. So I can see that it's just, doing time, really. So based on that, we can look at it as, wave 1 and 2, and then we were looking at this as wave 1 yesterday and 2 here, and we could look at this as wave 1 and 2 here. This looks impulsive here. It's moved up here to overlap this here. So as an A and a B and a C, it stands quite nicely. It still hasn't found support in the lower end of group 2 here. I'm going to give this a bit of gravity because it deserves it, and I'll give it a bit more color here as well because it needs to be highlighted, because this is what the market is trying to do. It's trying to find support on this level here. And based on this particular move of 3 waves here being corrective and this being impulsive, we should be taking out these tops here. It's just a matter of when, you know. So it's not going to move until the Nasdaq and the S&P are ready to move as well. Now the resources are looking quite soft because the Australian dollar needs to go down. The US dollar is moving up, but that shouldn't last too long. And the banks are still in good order. The banks will just follow the US banks. They'll follow the money and the interest rate. I won't bring the bonds and the yields into it, but they're all part of the big bowl of jelly. Now, I've put this here as wave 2. It looks like it's impulsive up here, but you know, we may get something else over here in terms of, we might need to look at this as an A wave here, a B wave here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down here for this as well. But we do need to leave the stop under this one here. So we just have to wait. So I'm thinking Friday is going to give us this, what we need here for this, you know. So I'll just copy this over here because that would be the alternative count at that point. So we need that 76.50 as the support area. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.